Dr. Jew is a nationally known gynecologist. Why did I ask Dr. Jew to come on here tonight? I'm glad you asked. Because we're talking about the vajayjay. Why am I whispering? Because people be making it seem like this is like you can't talk about the vajayjay. And I'm like, yes, you can. I mean, we all got vajayjays. I'm just saying, well, not all of us females, the ones who never changed the vajayjay. Listen, if you was born with a vajayjay and you got it changed to a wee wee, more power to you. But we're going to be talking tonight about how to maintain a certain smell for the vajayjay. I'm going to talk about what's acceptable and what's unacceptable. And we're going to have a conversation. And you can chime in. I can see the comments. Yes, I can. I can see the comments. But I do really want to know, why is it not working um on the YouTube? 1 second, y'all. Um, that's bugging me. Commentary with T-Bomb. Yeah. A post was created. Nope, I don't want to delete it. I want it to actually be streaming on YouTube. Okay. It said it's already live, so whatever. Okay. Hello, Dolores. Hello, Carolyn. Hello, Sherry. Hello, Danina. Hello, Kim. Hi, Kim. Hello, y'all. Y'all ready to get into it? Turn on the funk motor. Listen, I'm a country girl at heart. Most of my family is from the South. And I remember so many years ago, I was a teenager, and my cousin Carolyn, rest in heaven, she used to love this song called Turn on the Funk Motor. And we had a fashion show down the country one time. And I remember modeling in the fashion show, and that song came on. Turn on the funk motor. Turn the funk motor on. And so a lot of times when we were on Spotlight Over the City, I would be saying, being funny, saying, some of these women, they turns on the funk motor, okay? And they either don't know or don't care. I don't know. But it smells through their underwear. I'm just rhyming tonight. They either don't know or don't care, but it smells through their underwear. Hey, they turned on that funk motor. And then sometimes on Spotlight Over the City, this is where Stan and I would really be, Stan would be like, what in the hell? Because I remember back in the day where certain men or young boys, teenage, whatever, they would be like, I like the box a little bit tart, a little bit stink. I'd be like, what? They'd be like, yeah, if it ain't a little bit tart, it ain't good. Listen, I don't know. I don't know nothing about that. But let's talk about it, because I feel like this is a topic, a subject that we talk about in our close circles with our girlfriends, like when we all together, but nobody talks about it openly like this. And so, yeah. And why can't we talk about it? What is, y'all tell me in the comments, what is the big deal about talking about vajayjays or a wee wee? I'm trying to keep it clean, and so Facebook don't kick me off of here, or YouTube. Um, but what is the big deal about talking about it? That's what we have. We have these things on us. Why can't we talk about it openly? Just like we talk about feet and nails and hair. Why we can't talk about the private parts? When I was growing up, my mother was a very lenient woman. Very. My mother, listen, she didn't have a lot of rules for me and my sister. She was just so happy to be a mom and so happy to just love on us. We didn't have a lot of rules. And on a later episode of Commentary, I'm actually going to go deeper into some of the rules and boundaries that both of my parents had. and talk to you all. I'm going to have my sister join with me, and we're going to talk to y'all about what it was like being raised by them. But one of the things my mother was always very serious about is keeping the box clean. We shared one bathroom growing up, me, my mama, my daddy, and my sister. My mother was just like, I don't care if the shower is not available and you in a rush, then you better do the triangle. She taught us the triangle was hit this, and then that. So it's like a upside down triangle. So this is the bottom of the triangle. You go this way and then go down like that, hit that, and then you can go on out the house. But under no circumstances could you ever have a stink box. My mother did not play that. She was like, listen, nobody better not tell me or you that my daughter's thing down there smelled something, like anything. She was just very, and she was very particular about that. She's like, check it, make sure. Now, she didn't go as far as what I've started doing on my own as I started growing up and stuff. I check it. I will listen, this might be TMI. So I told y'all this is commentary and I'm going to talk like I talk. But I smell mine every chance I get because I don't play that. My mother raised us like that. When I go to the bathroom, I go, make sure that I can keep on going. Listen, even after I get out of the shower, I have to make sure that I got it. You got to just make sure you got to smell it, ladies. Well, how do you smell it if it's all the way down there? I just told you. When you go to the bathroom, if that's too disgusting for you, you got to think of another way. But when you go to the bathroom and you wipe, I hope you do wipe. Do y'all? I hope you do. I hope I ain't got to go back down that. I hope I don't have to talk to y'all about that. You you wipe? Okay, good. So after you wipe, it's just pee. It's just pee. Not unless your pee is on something different. Now that could happen. You eat some asparagus, seafood, certain seafoods, it could make it smell down there too. And it doesn't mean that the girl is foul or nasty or nothing like that. But you can always smell it. So, like, you can go. You can go. And if that don't work, put your hand down there. I don't care. It's yours. It is yours. You can do that. It doesn't mean that you're doing something nasty. Y'all got to stop thinking like that. We're thinking about making sure that we are good to go and that we is safe down there. You could just smell it. Like take your hand and go, do that. Whatever you got to do. I have my own methods. Create your own methods. Just make sure that you're raising your daughters to make sure that she understands you cannot have a stank box, and just make sure that you understand you can't have a stank box. And I don't want the men to leave this live because I need to talk to y'all about it as well. Because I have been hearing that y'all men will know that it's smelly and y'all still go in. Y'all do that? Like like you don't just be like fake a stomach attack or something. Let's be like, oh yeah, no, I can't do that. Oh yeah, no, can't do that. But some of y'all will go in anyway. This last week on the Be More podcast, they said, listen, we knew it was stank, it was foul, it was bad, but we was already committed. Like once you already almost there, you can't just back out. Yes, the hell you can. I remember backing out this now. Whenever I talk about stuff like this, y'all, my disclaimer is I'm talking about way back when. I'm not talking about the woman that I am now today. But I remember backing out of a situation, not because of any type of smell. In this particular situation, I backed out and faked a stomach attack because I'm going to save that for another episode. Ladies, table that. remember to ask me on another episode next week, hey, Terry, tell us why you faked a stomach attack in the middle of, and I'm going to tell y'all. Right now, we're talking about the smells of the vajayjay. Ladies, we have them, so we may as well talk about how to make sure that we on point with them. Okay, church ladies, y'all got vajayjays too. We all got them. So listen, and the church men, they ain't got vajayjays, but they got vajayjays. You know what I mean? They don't have vajayjays, but they got vajayjays. Them churchmen. Ask me how I know. Remember, I said everything I'm talking about is my former life. Them churchmen, they don't got vajayjays on their bodies, but they got body, they got bodies, and they know about vajayjays. Trust and believe. I ain't trying to call y'all churchmen out, but I am. They got, they know about them vajayjays. Trust me. Um, let me read some of the comments. How's my mom? My mom is doing great. My mom is the one who taught me about this. You got to have that box together. Okay. You're supposed to smell your towels when you are bathing. Okay. I listen, whatever your methodology is, just use it and make sure that it's working. Because let me tell you, before Dr. Jew comes on here, I I had come up with 5 levels of what it's supposed to smell like. And this is what I taught my daughters. Like, I raised 2 daughters. My daughters are 31 and 29. And my 29-year-old gave me my first grandbaby. Oh, he's so amazing. Um, and I stayed on their cases as little girls too. I would just be like, listen, mommy, don't play that. I will make you get your butt right back in the bathtub as soon as you got out if you don't have it together. And this is when they were little girls and just learning how to keep their bodies clean. I was very, very meticulous when it came to the private parts. Okay. I did not want to raise daughters with a stink box because the box can be stinky. It can get like that, you know. So remember, I said you got to check it, smell it yourself, use your fingers, your hands. Let me tell y'all something. Can I tell y'all something? Again, TMI. This is a TMI warning. Cover your ears if you are sensitive. But if my former life, if it's something I think might be about to go down, I smell it on the surface to make sure that it's all good. It's at level 1, which is like fresh, fresh, fresh. And then I'll even go in there with my hand and be like, go in there a little bit. And then it's yours. Why don't you want to see what's going on in there yourself? You got to make sure. I sure have done and did. Yes, I'll just go in there and then come out and be like, I'll be like, hmm. I'm not lying. Just telling y'all the truth. Okay. So listen. And I remember back in the day, okay, let me go here real quick. Y'all know I have ADD, so I jump around, jump around, jump around. But remember back in the day how our moms and grandmas and aunties used to have them red plastic rubbery douche bags in the bathroom? My mother used to have that. And me and my sister never used to understand what that was. It used to have this long white plastic cord to go to it with a little thing on the end. But when I became older, my gynecologist, rest in heaven, rest in peace to Dr. Lorraine Gillian, the best to ever do it. She delivered all 3 of my children. She took care of my box for years, years. Um, but she had always told me, do not douche. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. And I never did it. Never did it. Never did it. My mother used to do it though. I used to see that red rubber thing. And once we got older, she finally told us what it was for. And they used to use water and vinegar. I'm not doing that. I'm more of a I'm a natural person when it comes to a lot of stuff. right? And when it comes to my box, I'm very, very, very mindful. I'm not putting no vinegar and water up in there. I'm not putting no summer's eve fresh stuff up in there. I'm just real funny when it comes to that. So I'm using the plain Dove soap or Ivory soap. Anybody know about Ivory soap? That's what my mother raised us on. And until we got once we got to be like teenagers, she was just like, oh, well, we can step it up a notch and get Dove. Dove was always expensive, so we used to get Ivory soap, the purest type of soap ever, right? And ladies, get in that tub at least once a week, okay? Yes, ask Dr. Mac, okay? Yes, Dr. Mac, get in there. Um, what was I saying? Y'all see how I do? I'll be saying something and then I'll get distracted. That's why I try not to look over there to the comments because I'll get distracted and be like, what was I saying? No douching, not for me. I'm more of a natural person. Dove, Ivory soap only down there. Um, I'm real funny about the area down there. I don't even use, I don't mess around down there. I don't use no scented stuff. All of this. I used to hear about Norforms, them like suppositories that women can put up there. I'm not doing none of that kind of stuff. No, I'm just not. And I've had some vajayjay smell issues that we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna be transparent. Like I'm just telling y'all the truth. There's no need in me coming on here talking about stuff if I can't tell you about my own stuff. Okay. But yeah, I'm always been very nice. So I'm not into douching. I'm not using no Norforms. I'm not using no sprays, FDA feminine deodorant sprays. Not using any of those things. And not saying that something's wrong with it because I don't know. Maybe I don't know. We'll ask Dr. Jew. But I've just never been into any of that kind of stuff, right? So no flavors, none of that. Even down to look, remember I said my disclaimer is this is my former life. When I say this kind of stuff, I ain't talking about me now. Don't be on the internet talking about, oh, she said she be doing this. No, I'm talking about my former life, the old T-bomb. But if a man had a yucky looking mouth, he couldn't put his mouth down there. Because if you got yuck mouth, I don't trust your yuck mouth down there. I'm sorry. I was very judgy with, I'm like, no, no. If you got yuck mouth, no. None of that kind of stuff, right? But I have experienced as an adult, I didn't eat asparagus as a kid. I didn't eat. But as an adult, I have experienced asparagus and certain seafoods will make my box smell weird, stink. I'm not even lying. And I was like, what the heck? And then I googled it one time and I realized that certain things that you can eat, ladies, can make it smell funny. So I always told my daughters once they got of age and I realized that they was doing the things, I was like, look, if you got your man coming over, especially if he knew, if he already in, if he in, okay, then you can just say, look, I'm eating asparagus tonight and it might smell bad down there. Because for me and for a lot of people, for whatever reasons, asparagus makes it smell down there. So if you got some action about to come up on, don't eat asparagus for a date night. Not a new date. Don't do that. And also, like I said, for me, eating certain seafoods, it would be like, I'd be like, yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the levels that I taught my daughters and see if y'all agree. And I'm going to see if Dr. Jew agrees. Level one, this is an acceptable smell for your vajayjay. Level one, it's fresh out of the tub, fresh out of the shower. It might not have to, it might not need to smell like roses or nothing like that. Cause like I say, I don't use all of that smelly stuff down there, but it's fresh. You know what? It's like like you could, like when you put your own fingers or hands down there and do like this, you could go like this. Mhm. fresh. That's level 1. That's the most ideal. That's ideal, right? And that's the way it should smell most of the time, in my opinion. Fresh. But we all work, we all do things. So let's just say level 1 is fresh, out the shower, out the tub. Every man would love to have the level 1, I'm sure. Ain't no man turning down level 1 fresh box. Smells so good. He probably just want to eat it and beat it up. Okay? I'm just saying. No issues with level 1s. Okay? Level 2. Level 2 is acceptable. It's it's not fresh. It's not fresh out the shower, but it's not stink or rank. Level 2 is I'm in level 2 right now. I've been at work all day, but I don't work in construction or doing nothing like that. So I'm at level 2, meaning it don't smell like I just got out the shower. Like it ain't fresh, but it's good. It's all good. Like it's just regular. It has no it's just like, it's good. That's level 2. Level 2 is a lot of us. You take a shower in the morning, you go to work, or you go take a drive, or you go to the PTA meetings, or you go to your real estate office and you sell a few houses, whatever. You go to closing. So you got a few hours and you out, you go to lunch, you come back, the things, and you use the bathroom during the day. So of course it's not going to be level 1. Let's just keep it 1,000. But level 2, ain't no man turning down level 2. Trust and believe, because it's good. It's all good. It's just not, it don't smell like soap. Can we all agree to that? All right. We got level 1 and 2. All good. No issues. Good stuff, right? Level 3. Level 3 is not only have you been at work all day, maybe you stopped by the gym and you worked out, or you stopped at the track and you ran and you or something, or you've been at your child's soccer game and you out there and you doing stuff. And level 3 is a little tricky, but still not bad. Most men, I would say 60 to 70% of them, they ain't tripping off a level 3 either, y'all. Level 3 is a little musty, a little sweaty, maybe just a little tad bit like a trace of maybe some pee. I don't know. Not me, but level 3 is still acceptable for most men. I would say like 60 to 70% of them. They ain't tripping off a level 3. They're like, oh, we've been at the beach all day. It's sweaty. You've been to the gym. It's a little sweaty. Let's go. Now what I'm concerned about though with level 3 are the men who still don't mind putting their face and mouth down there at level 3. But there are some who will. They don't care if it smells like sweat. It's just sweat, just a little musty. That's level 3. I don't really have any concerns for level 3 because we've all been there. I've been there often. I go walking all the time. And sometimes it's a brisk walk. No big deal. Level 3, you could still get some. They gonna still hit with level 3. They just might not put their mouth down there with level 3. And some will. Some will though. Level 4. Level 4 is a problem. If you get anything past level 3, you need to call Dr. Jew or one of her friends or somebody, because I feel like once you're at level 4 is a stink. Not a stink like ass or poop or nothing like that, but like a maybe like a yeasty smell, cottage cheese, any kind of cheese. You're at level 4 and you need to understand why. Level 4 could mean you just haven't washed the box the way you should, and it's been 2-3 days or something. Or level 4 could mean there's an issue, because if it's smelling like cheese, cottage cheese, any kind of cheese, yeasty, it's not foul smell, which we're going to get to, But it's like, mm. And I've learned, even with level 4, if you don't get it taken care of or figure out what's going on, it could lead to bigger problems. See, if people had these kind of open conversations with me when I was a young woman, not knowing I was being reckless with the box back then. Yes, but nobody told me that if you having sex and then all of this clunky cottage cheese stuff coming out, or bleeding and you're not a virgin no more, none of that stuff is normal. And usually a smell down there past level 3 is an issue. Dr. Jew will be able to attest to that. I'm gonna bring her in about a couple 2 to 3 more minutes. Let me just get through these levels. So now we'd have gotten through level 4, and I told y'all level 4, I believe you need to go and get something, get it checked out. I'm cool with 1, 2, and 3, because like I say, 3, you still the the man, he's still gonna hit. If it's 3, he just might not put his mouth down there, but he'll still hit it at 3, level 3. It's just some musty stuff. You've been working out or whatever, right? Been at the beach all day. I know when I come back from laying at the beach all day, it's at level 3. I'm just not lying. It is. But level 4 is a problem. Level 5, ladies, if your vajayjay ever smells like fish, like the wharf, anything like that, you're at level 5, and either you have a bacterial, we call it BV back in the day, bacterial vaginosis. Again, I'm gonna need Dr. Jew to jump in and save me if my terminology is not correct. Or you real trifling. If you at level 5 and you don't have some sort of infection, you're trifling. Nobody, no woman's vajayjay. I have gone in a bathroom stall behind, and it made me almost want to throw up. And it's not poop. It's the box, and it's awful. And I'm not judging, because guess what, y'all, being transparent, back in the day, way back in the day, when I was slightly a little bit reckless, not even when I was reckless, that's how I used to know that my back then man, back way back then, was doing something else. Because I'm telling y'all, if he go and do something with somebody else, and that stuff that he doing with her, and it get mixed up, all of that pH balance stuff be off, it's gonna stink down there. And you know what else? Sometimes it stinks so bad, it stink through your clothes. I remember one time when I was working at Pepco, I must have been like 20, because back then I think when I was working at Pepco, I was like 19, 20. And I sat down in my chair, and that whiff came up. I was like, what the? I called my friend Nari. I'm sorry to put you on blast, Nari, but back then we used to call it Metro Gel. Dr. Jew probably gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. Back then we used to call it. I said, Nari, you got some Metro Gel? Cause I. She was just like, I do. I got some. I'll drop it off. That's how we used to do back. We used to know. Dr. Jew gonna be like, y'all self-diagnosing each other, but listen, we had all been through it enough. So, ladies, if you've never been there, then kudos to you. Most of us have been there at least one time in our lives where it smelled like the wharf, and we were like, what in the hell? Like, I remember one time, me and one of my friends, we were together, and she was just like, excuse my language, y'all, but this is what she said. She was like, bitch, is that you or is that me? And we both started going sniffing. And I was like, bitch, that's you. But I had some Metro Gel upstairs and went and got it for her. When it's at level 5, it is a problem. And if any man still enters the box knowing that it smells like fish and the wharf and just nasty, shame on you. I hope I'm gonna tell him, I'm gonna let my son listen to this, even though he's only 18. I'm sure he's probably doing some things. Don't go in if you smell anything, men. Don't, 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 don't. Okay.